Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. And whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Unequaled refuge, ornament of the world, your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor, Vajradhara, without a doubt. I bow at the feet of the Father, Jigten Sumgum. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate One, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I may realize the unelaborated nature of mind. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. Om Guru Deva Dakini Ratna Mandala Pratitsa Soha. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the 2 vehicles and their combination according to the dispositions and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Denda nga tso dedang katsan shiwa nang yiri itine cho na tamji jian shin dun dungbe ze la rab tine songba nang yitine jik dungba tiyang jik rang jikbu ke tinde ki chit ma yinba tine semchen tamji ke tongde jik chu da nyingi yona re gongu yona re tinde chiya te ke chenpo re tiga nang yi ke tine 단다양 가서 심지어 탐지 되고 통치 도약에 고니가지 미비네요. 아마 저 꾸노데 가두이네요. 메신저게 통치고 선배 로직고 요사데 된데 헤멜레라 토미장 대여삼바 빠더죠. 강제 대여 로요바 대주는 용원도 선도네. 단다양 가서 심지어 동자 전부 이제 양도 투비 미비나요. 근데 지最大的你身边的同期个什么的，跟那桥下位那的呢，就蛮多动物有那的，这个呢也给这个，那边人几天别给你看着我听的，那个有那的，看的去有那个身边的同，身边的这看到用手咱别给了的结果的是。
As we mentioned yesterday, everything, all phenomena depend, or dharmas depend on the conditions, and the condition is the aspiration, the motivation. So our motivation should not just be for our own sake, not just for our own sake, but we should think that whether you're listening to the Dharma teachings or you're practicing them, I'm doing it for the benefit of all sentient beings. It is said that even if we are unable to benefit others right now, we should always have the motivation to be able to be of benefit to others, to benefit others. So if you have that motivation in whatever you do, so basically in whatever you do, if you just recite a single Mani mantra, or even if you just engage in a worldly activity, whatever you do, always have that wish to benefit all sentient beings.
我的点的古龙这街上的各种空区吧，那就是我说台巴谁呀的有为呢？他呢三趟嘛，谁呀的这个的修的哇？他当样然后的我说人家有为呢，他呢人家提给他呢坚持呢，开始呢我做这。做我做当苦完cham的呀的，大的真把听把的，天大跟真把的天，看来很路个是很偏有为呢，天很偏是呀提给，他看来用个有的是哪位呢？天这但南军的为呢，我做当我是呀的早前不用把这这，天现是呀的什么市场马上会有的，但现偏的什么当边呢？但现在偏不几乎没的。现谁呀？这上头就当被搞了，今天现给开始个大阳天是吧？好了的，个开始个这个现给他给予着，在那里 positive 是吧？听了就听了，我说通透个的是。
And we also mentioned, talked about faith yesterday, and we've said that when faith arises, then also like a clear mind arises from that, like an inspiration. And so the root cause of us wandering in samsara is self-grasping, and through that this condition of cultivating compassion, we will slowly eliminate our self-grasping. So this is the altruistic mind. So normally we think about mostly ourselves as most important, and we don't think so much about others. And it's not even just about really actually benefiting others, but also it is to see, when we think about others, it is to see their good qualities and their good sides, their positive sides.
我的点的这什么当过的吧？我说他这几天让什么没谈呢？这呢他白天面呢让个同当做什么的什么着急，是吧？他提起我让样提他就做过 karsegoda ji hen samno ta ngarang samno matana ngarang ka thong ru ge mewan ro ji ta tops ka wala wa ta na thini ji yong gu yores yin na yang thong tan be ngo de thini mare ta rang ke cheban zimba shu chenpo yo na rang thong na tan rob thu yo mare thini rang ki chen ji te lo tang wi na ta ngone ji ka smart way ta ngone rang dong ngone ti rob thu yores
If now we might think that if I don't think about myself, if I only think about others, then I will never accomplish my own benefit, my own purpose. But actually, from an ultimate perspective, that's also not true. And in fact, when it is because of only caring for my own happiness that I'm actually not accomplishing my own purpose. And the wish to benefit others is actually the smart way to accomplish one's own purpose.
대송도 같으네 지츠밀레 그 송바레 되네 샴페인 탐치 랑데주 송레다 제상가서 현라지 다 팬로토 지 번jo 그런 지기 요나데 야나지 거다 지 생점본로 개찰라고 요나에 칸다 이제 칸데 지 지기 요비나야다 고 현라야 고티기 줄라다 되네 현라디스 팬 토버리티 이나야 조데 rang la pen to tu gres zo hempen se ya tela tene chibi na tene nga to ji stock ji lo ma thong wa mambo hyu ji yong gu yo da nga to chi thop sa ma re samba ji da nge yong ga ma re samba da wo ji da tene ji mambo ji yong gu re yin na hempen ta ning ji yu bi na tene da nge lo tang tu gu da nge chi tu gu da 가장 기회나 예리 저한테 성공 그 파워라도 세야지 파워 세야지 요라로 어때 나기 기는 가서다 내가 가리는 야 파워 나기 되네 치도 부여레스
Rinpoche said that the altruistic mind is actually the cause of all one's own happiness. And so if we help others, for example, if we give them financial help or we speak to them nicely, whatever we do, it brings them some benefit, but mainly actually the main benefit is for yourself. If you do not have this altruistic mind, and then often we might feel a little bit stuck and feel like deflated as I can't do this and it just won't happen and things like that. But if you have an altruistic mind and compassion, then you will feel brave that I can do this. For example, yesterday we mentioned in this teaching by Lord Jigten Sungen how when he taught what is the actual hero. And so then if you have this altruistic mind, then basically whatever you do, you will become like a hero.
어떻게 당가서 단다 공교나 예레 제 군롱 대대 대는 군롱에 닝제 캠페인스야다 좋은 것을 섬는 여보 당비나야 캠페인스야다 단는 점블링 디강라야 나서단 원내치나 점블링데 고 침상도 지로와 침상도 지리 침상 침보지리 디나라야다 맞서베 가르세거래 고 big family 도 차디 요르디 이나야 지 텐디 뭔지 차상 요베 토네 맞은 점블링 디강 레비는 제제라 로파치 고유 우승접체 텐디지나 맞서 지보 용으로 와 이나야다 텐디게 고 캠페인게 만당와 세베게 만당위 틀레데네 당아서베 제제게 되네 톱수다야 제제게 마자야 다 코틴디지네 다 다는 점을 고 지고 용마와 텐디 다티 텔레카스나 맞아 캠페인스야 되다 닝제스야게 티게 만당와레 더나 얘기 고지 다 캠페인인게 메와 지금 고모로 거라다 고모네 통다다 랑라 베지부 용야 맹이 요야 추부 차야 섬노 땅그 요래 디네야 통다디 그 고지다 통단 로비아디 고디 독종로지 뭐도 용투면와 와티인디네 당가서 지 갈스번 잠블링 디간라 레라오 마리 디네야 아직 가서 미랭오랭오네 지 닝지의 자천보인바 아직 섬진 현라야 섬노 가세 스탄토토 땅야 개천보래 디네다 대야들이 야 오다 가서 뭐카시제 닝지제네 펜도 강요 점그로 텐데 말에 가서 뭐제 닝지제위나요 베나다 닝지 마친케 뭐자탐바 요비나 티나는 뭐제 닝지제위나 고자트메 타사와 근데 그 급슈나 랩사리 오다 테나이네 가서 뭐제게 되네 섬제 닝지제나요 고지 잠블링들이요 펜토토부요레스
So the motivation should be one of compassion and altruism. And so if you think about it from an altruistic perspective, then this world actually is like one big family. And when we recognize that, we can help each other and protect the environment and so on. And as a result, we will be happy. But it's because that there is not enough altruism, there's not enough love in the world, that people get into conflict with each other, and there's wars and so on. And therefore, there is a lot of unhappiness in the world. It is because there's not enough altruism and compassion. And being in a state like of being blinded or ignorant, of course, what we want is to be happy and to have a good name and to be rich. But although that's what we want, what we actually do is quite the opposite of that. Of course, it's not easy in this world, but it's very important to cultivate compassion as much as we can, to think about others as much as we can. And one may think that there's not so much benefit. It doesn't really help anyone if I have compassion. But that's also not true, because if you imagine there is, for example, 100 people without compassion, and then if one of them cultivates compassion, then there's only 99 without compassion already. And so in this way, we cultivate, I think in this way we see when we cultivate compassion, we can really bring benefit to the world.
대양한테는 당가서 닝제 제송이 당가서 대 개천보여래 당가서 양곡으로 와 아니 제버치버라 양곡을 당가서 제당 닝제 제야 당 로화 제야 당지 제와 용나들라 제 나랑 다 녀워인바 나랑 가워인바 초포인바 텐딜라양 텐행가서다 지 닝제 제야로 와당 로화 제야 레라오로 와 이내양 다 단당가서양 지 랑케 마가와 초보 마인바 디스 랑게다 토나 알아야 가르세고 디스 데오메원라고 세그러와 땅가서 도자게 뭔가 힘가서 통도 지 선바치고 데오 용거래 참 뭔가 그냥 통바테가랑이야 거디스 통마지 데오메와테 랑이 용거 요래티 이나야 가서 닝제 집에 까올라 간다 파죠 committee 랑그 초보이나다 보면한다 아무튼 가서 통나야고 요난다 야고 미비난다 코랑고네 대신 노고요와 나라야 대신 노고 코라야 대신 특징성으로 와 근데 이미 좀 센터를 때네 지금 가서다 머스 간디지 토비나야 그 텔레지베 갈세고래다 지 추냠란 집이네 깔라 그 닝게지다 제와지라 그 이콜리 제야데 개체모인 사례스
And so it's very important to cultivate compassion, and it's something that we have to train a mind in. Of course, it's very easy. It's much easier for us to cultivate compassion and to help someone that is very close to us, like a good friend, someone that we like very much. It's more difficult for someone that we dislike, who is not a friend. Now, sometimes there's these kind of people that when we see them, we already feel a little bit uncomfortable, not so good. There's other people, when we see them, it makes us feel happy. So whether someone is a friend or not, or however they make us feel when we see them, what we share in common with them is that they also want to be happy. And so for this reason, from a Dharma perspective, when we practice the Dharma, it's really important to treat everyone equally.
Oda tindi gulong tindi je kito ne da nga zo Phowa di kachang tini ma da garo ji ro simbari da Phowa tila je tang Phowa rang suzu ki nyamlen chi ya tang tini da lele jariya se je yore tini tini da tangbo nga zo di da kachang Phowa di rang ki nyamlen chi ya tila da nga zo ji thala bu gomtang tang chi simbari la tiga na yi da nyamlen tingma kashi chibari tindi indi da tanda yang nga zo nyamlen tingma jik tindi ji chigi yins tindi te ti shugla nga zo da dis discussion tindi jik da Phowa ma himbala yang Phowa jaya la tindi da tiri ma tsa kashi jik labgi yins
And with this motivation, we should engage in the practice of Phowa. And so we continue with Phowa. And so we said that there is a Phowa practice that we do ourselves, and then there is a Phowa that we practice for somebody else. It's called the application of activities. Regarding the first one, our own Phowa practice, we already discussed that, gave some instructions on how to practice that, how to visualize and so on. And then we also did the practice a few times together. And now we will do the practice again once together. And then we will discuss a bit more, and I will speak a few words about how to practice Phowa for somebody else.
So now we look like Phowa practice. So prepare for Phowa practice. So maybe 10 minutes meditation, and then we do the practice. So page 1, Phowa text. So boy the so darame so boy so what's English?
From within the state of emptiness, I arise in a single instant as Vajrayogini with 2 faces and a body the color of rubies. My main face has a passionate expression with 3 eyes and slightly bared fangs. Half of my hair is bound in a top knot, and the rest hangs freely down my back. I wear a diadem of 5 dried skulls, and above my right ear is the black face of a grunting sow. In my right hand I hold aloft toward the sky a hooked knife made of copper. With my left I hold at my heart level a skull cup filled with the blood and a katvanga resting against the crook of my arm. My left leg is bent up with the foot resting against my right thigh, and my right leg is straight as I press down with my toes on the heart of a yellow corpse lying on its back. A necklace of 50 freshly severed heads is draped around my neck. I am adorned with red silks and bone ornaments. My body appears, yet is without substantial nature. Along the central meridian of its interior is the central channel, which is blue on the outside, red on the inside, and endowed with the 4 characteristics. It is about the diameter of a medium-sized arrow. The upper part extends to the aperture of Brahma, and the lower end reaches to the secret place. At the heart level, on a ledge similar to the nodal diaphragm found in bamboo, is a 4-petaled red lotus. On its bed is the essence of my own awareness as a red sphere about the size of a single pea. It is light and vibrating and on the verge of flying up. At the crown, the upper part of the central channel opens up to the aperture of Brahma like a domed skylight. Above that is the essence of my own root Lama in the form of Buddha Amitabha. He is red in color, appearing in Nirmanakaya aspect, with the 3 Dharma robes and ornamented by the major and minor marks. He sits on a jeweled throne in the posture of Buddha Maitreya, with his big toe blocking the opening of the aperture of Brahma at my crown. He is surrounded by all the lineage lamas.
So maybe we do Tibet. So page 3. Ora jebe ma june la so de so la bo jung ba chen je lo anya la bo ge ga ju do ba chen je lo da so de ne chen ju ma da Dewa jen de je wa jen je lo son je wo bo me la chang ze lo adar tong nian da son je lo so wa de san la po wa jong ba jen je lo Po bien ka jo do ba jen je lo da son de ne chen bu chur ma da a de wa jen de je wa jen je lo san je wo ba mi la chang ze lo an chung me nang ka jan chen la so wan de san la bo wan jong ba chen je lo nya la ba ve ka jo do ba chen je lo da so de ne chen bu chung ma da ande wa jen de je wa la jen je lo son je wo ba mi la chan za lo ba da la so wa de sa lang bo wa jong ba ra chen je lo Nyo lang po ve ka chu du pa ra chen je lo do so de ne zen bu chur ma da a de wa chen de je wa ra chen je lo san je wo pa me la chang zi lo Nam pa go te me lo do la so wan de sa lan bo wan jong ba ra chen je lo Anyo lang pa ven ka ju do ba ra chen je lo da so de ne zen bu chun ma da De wa jian de jie wa le qian jie lo song jie wo ba mi la jiang zi lo an chu jie sang jie jiang zi la su wan de san lang po wan zhong ba le jian jie lo Lang po ven ka chu chu pa ra chen je lo da so de ne zen bu chur ma da de wa chen de je wa ra chen je lo san je Tsung me nang ka jan zhen la so wan de san lan po wan zhong pa ra chen je lo a nyo lang po ven ka ju du pa ra chen je lo da so a de wa jian de jie wa ra jian jie lo san jie wo ba mi la chang zi lo a yong zi pen cai nam jia la so wa de san lan po wan zhong ba ra jian jie lo Anyo lan po ven ka ju du pa ra chen je lo do so de ne zen bu chur ma da de wa jian de jie wa ra chen je lo san je wo pa mi la chang zi lo Khen che nam jong pen to la so wan de sa lan bo wan jong pa ra chen je lo a nyo lang po ven ka chu du pa ra chen je lo da so de ne zen bu chur ma da a jian de jie wa ra jian jie lo san jie wo ba mi la jiang zi lo a jie zi guan jiao ren na la su wan de sa lang po wan zhong ba ra jian jie lo Anyo lan po ven ka chu du pa ra chen je lo da so de ne zen bu chur ma da de wa jian de jie wa ra chen je lo san jie wo pa mi la chang zi lo Rin zi chu jie zhao pa la so wan de sa lan po wan zhong pa ra chen jie lo a nyo lang po ven ka chu du pa ra chen jie lo da so de ne zen bu chun ma da Ajen de je wara jen je lo san je wo ba mi la jang ze lo a gon chon tin le nam ja la so wan de san la po wan jong ba ra jen je lo Anyo lam po vi ka chu du pa ra chen je lo e da san de ne tsen pu chur ma da de wa jen de je wa ra chen je lo e san je wo pa mi la chan ze lo a gon chon chen le na ya la so wan de sa la po wan jong ba ra chen je lo a nyo la po vi ka chu du ba ra chen je lo da de ne ten bu chun ma da a de wa jen de je wa ra chen je lo san je wo pa mi la chang ze lo an te le tong do chu ja la so wa de sa la po wa jong ba ra chen je lo an po vi ka chu du pa ra chen je lo da so de ne tsen pu chur ma da a de wa jen de je wa ra chen je lo san je wo pa mi la chang ze lo a gon choi den zin zhuin du la so wan de san lang po wan jong ba ra chen je lo nan yang lang po vi ka chu du ba ra chen je lo da son de ne chen bu chun ma da de wa jen de je wa ra chen je lo san je wo pa mi la chang ze lo a yong ze chu je jiang zhen lo su wan de san lang po wan jong ba ra chen je lo an po vi ka chu du pa ra chen je lo da san de ne tsen pu chur ma da a de wa jen de je wa ra chen je lo san je wo pa mi la chang ze lo a den zi chu ji ni ma la so wan de san po wan jong Nyo lang po vi ka chu du pa ra chen je lo da son de ne tsen pu chun ma da de wa jen de je wa ra chen je lo san je wo pa mi la chan ze lo a chao da bi mi jiang zhen la so wan de sa la po wan jong ba ra chen je lo lan po vi ka chu du pa ra chen je lo da so de ne tsen pu chur ma da a de wa jen de je wa ra chen je lo san je wo pa mi la chang ze lo Ni tu dharma don za la so wan de sa la po wan jong pa ra chen je lo Venga Judu Bara Chenje Lo Da So De Ne Tempu Chama Ta Deva Jendu Jevara Chenje Lo Sanje Oba Mila Chanze Lo Ankara Chen Changchub Bola Sarvande Salam Phowa Jung Bara Chen Jelo Alam Phowa Ka Chudu Bara Chen Jelo Da So De Ne Tempu Churmata Deva Jendu Jewara Chenje Lo Sanje Wopa Mila Chanze Lo Ate Je Lo Du Janze Lo Sorwande Salam Phowa Jung Bara Chenje Lo Nyalam Bhave Ka Judu Bara Chenje Lo Da So De Ne Tempu Churmata Deva Jendu Jevara Chenje Lo Sanje Oba Mila Chansa Lo Ren Chen Bin Bin Zhe Jian La Sarvande Salam Phowa Jung Bara Chen Jelo Nampo Ven Ka Judu Bara Chen Jelo Da So De Ne Tempu Churmata Deva Jendu Jevara Chenje Lo Sanje Wopa Mila Chanze Lo Gon Choi Tu Jini Ma La So Wan De San Lai Po Wan Jung Bara Chenje Lo Nyanyo Lang Po Ve Ka Judu Bara Chenje Lo Da So De Ne Tempu Churmata Deva Jendu Jevara Chenje Lo Sanje Wopa Mila Chanze Lo Awara Jendu Den Dora Jela Sorvande Alam Phowa Jung Bara Chenje Lo Anyalam Phowa Ka Chudu Bara Chenje O Da So De Ne Tempu Churmata Deva Jendu Jevara Chenje Lo Sanje Wopa Mila Chanze Lo Je Te Guan Cho Chu Cha La So Wan De Salam Po Wan Jung Bara Chenje Lo Nanyalam Po Ve Ka Judu Bara Chenje Lo Da So De Ne Tempu Churmata Deva Jendu Jevara Chenje Lo Sanje Wopa Mila Chanze Lo Anden Cho Chu Je Lo Du La Sorvande Salam Wan Jung Bara Chenje Lo Nyalam Po Ven Ka Judu Bara Chenje Lo Da So De Ne Tempu Churmata Deva Jendu Jevara Chenje Lo Sanje wo ba mi la chang zi lo ten xie vi lu zhu la so wan de san lang po wan yong pa chen je lo a nyo lang po vi ka chu zhu pa chen je lo da son de ne chen pu chong ma da Dewa jen de je wa de jen je lo san je wo ba mi la chang ze lo Zong mi ju jen ju ne la so wan de san lang po wan jong ba de jen ju lang Ka chu du ba chen je lo da so de ne chen bu chun ma da a de wa jen de je wa chen je lo san je wo ba mi la chang za lo chen chen zai vi la ma la so wan de san lang po wan jong ba de chen je lo a nyo lang po yin ka ju du ba de chen je lo da son de ne chen bu chun ma da wa jen de je wa de chen je lo san je wo ba mi la chang zo lo teni da yang jo ka chang kong shu ba na yi re ten de de da mi pa za chi jo ti ka si na za ma ti ke na de 다 니까 책스지바 티게 돌아 되네라 메토 다 말보 된 담아 시바 티게 되는 되네 양 되네 뭐다 넘버 히비게 뭐 되네 틀레 도와테양 되네 말보 임바 되네 틀라양 넘보 임바 틀레 양보 임바 어달라 팔레기바 요다 틀레지 samgole tene ta tene nga tsundre ma he slaung be ka kale ya ramba hin de tene hek ti ki ya pa ne tene nga ta jiwo ke changbo la ka che yo de ta ka che de ti ka bla ti to la tene ta nga to sanje ta wo pa mi tene chambe ki tsu de hyo de wa tene hyab yi be ke te won ke tene 상호도 막 아대요 레스템 테니테 다나도 핵 지리네 핵 dumba 티토라테네 넘버 히비 뭐 틀레테네 지 와파미 기테네 통모들 톡 잠치 그래 톡 잠치와 다가라나테네 맞아 까슬라도 테야 가토 코라나야 다나 닌케 페마텔라야 용바 오 테니지 성방 그래스
And so again, for the visualization, so we mainly visualize the central channel, and inside the central channel at the heart level is this ledge, and on top of that is the 4-petaled red lotus flower. And on top of that is a red spear, a red window that has the essence of your own consciousness. And it is light and vibrating and on the verge of flying up. And so then we will move it up slowly and one by one with heck. And again, at the crown, Brahma aperture is open, and above our crown is the Buddha Amitabha sitting in a Maitreya posture, blocking the entrance to our central channel at the crown with his big right toe. And so visualizing in this way, then we will transport the window upward with 7 hexs. And at the seventh time, so 7 hek, the Bindo, which is the consciousness, only touches briefly on the toe of Buddha Amitabha, and then instantly, upon touching, when we say Ga, it goes directly back down to the lotus flower at the heart.
Then that Katang Shivana yielding as a hek slavic gala, then a tambo hek majak ngola, inhale, otis, manal. Tengo ba tegarana, then not a hek, gunjagro, hek gunjabicala, teak, hek re samla, then Chikarsegda, inhaling, Otomobia Yomarista, exhale, o chiltonia de Rangikungo, hek. Hegala rangi yongyores. Techinite da tama de la ngazoda ka de tangi kontiwa na ye tiletia tene wapa making tung to samchiwa la tene ka slauda ka la du tene ti ngazoda o nanti ya tong ka so ta tene je la gres.
So as we mentioned yesterday, before we say the first hek, we inhale, we make 1 inhalation, and then we perform the 7 heks on this first inhalation, meaning that we do not inhale for any other of the 7 heks. So we just inhale in the beginning, and then we do not inhale again. And actually naturally slightly exhale as we say the hek. And then after the last hek, then the consciousness, the Bindo, touches the toe of Buddha Amitabha, and then instantly goes back down as we say Ga. And so as we say Ga, we bring the air back in. So we are inhaling, bringing the air back in as we are saying Ga, and the Bindo goes back down.
Da namju zalong kare gombi na yang lu de tambo go in bare da jatang so lu nam na chu dun siyorwa ina ti na ne da nga so gesek da dar zon se ya de da ke che sho in bare te gesek da dar zon ya de ke chen bu res te ne lu tambi na te ne za tang res te za tambi na te ne long tang res te ne long tang bo yo na ya te ne sam ya to tambo ne to bu res so ne 네티 개침보인 바래. 다 디네야 가정다 가서 포웨게 값하고 포와들 가르라위나 드네. 맞아 롱탕. 네 메파당 샘들야 챈도야 되그래 숨드네. 에제다 맞아 롱고랑 랑이탕이 공티와 나기리 롱가라 헤스리 야로 여러와. 디네티네 메파당야 드네. 지고 거기 면도트 칸지 로구요와 테리 되네 대가 대단냠도 대대야 업 지야데 롱모 익셈성 채널디 스텔라보리스
whatever practice of channels, winds and drops we practice, we engage in, and when we engage in these practices, it's always important to have your body straight. So we assume the 7-point posture of Vairocana, and the most important of these 7 is to have the back as straight as an arrow. That's the most important one. And so that is because when your body is straight, the channels are straight. When the channels are straight, then the winds move straight. And when they move straight, then the mind can abide clearly. So that's why that's important. And so as we mentioned yesterday, in the context of Phowa practice, we combine the winds, the visualization, and the mind to go up. So as we say, hek, the wind goes up naturally. And so together with that, we bring the mind and the visualization and kind of visualize how it all goes up together.
제가 나이다 제탕아서 핵 일업디 들어갔지 디 미페나를 핵 나오더니 배제 거기 디 첨볼라야나 아프마다나 네오 디 핵 그 수보 차창 제 저거 정말야 짜반다고 그러와 아 되니 핵 핵 디 스토어야 짜반다고 틀리지 고기여서 따라서 대가지 개찰라바 나이에 핵 노라 어떤 데그여서 말이스.
And also when we say the heck syllable and we visualize how it goes up, so it's actually it's not only visualization, there's also some force involved. So that is why we say the heck a bit strongly, so that actually our abdomen, our belly actually contract, but develop some force. So we are not just loosely saying it heck, but we are actually forcefully like using like some force when we say heck.
Okay. So do you have some questions?
So we're using the belly, but we're not, the air just comes out naturally with the hip.
Right.
It's just the support from the muscles.
Right. Also, this naturally goes out, right? Hey. And also this sort of like not like hey, not like that. So little bit counter. Hey. So little bit more. Hey. So.
How low at the heart is this nodal? Is it like down here or up here, or like where at the heart level kind of?
Yeah, I think this. Yeah, here. That's the heart music. That's what nomadi Nyingpo Jimanda was like. Your heart say. Think of say single series heart chakra.
So the way it is kind of located, the heart chakra is kind of like right at the center of your torso. Question here, is it right that the bindu moves upwards, but the lotus stays at the heart? Tigleti ya dobe kaplatini tema tininkhla tigita.
Really?
Yes, that's correct.
Kandilapsong?
Team Tigla ya doko yorba.
Really?
Tigla tambo pema kamado, then ya dogore. Then pema ya dogo marva. Tigla chipo ya do.
Really, Tilichibo, Pema Dogmarwa, Mari.
Yeah, that's right. It's just the bindu, not the lotus that goes up.
How far inside of our body is central channel? Middle of the head, just middle.
Oh, heart to down.
Yeah, how far inside of our body? Like it's not right on the outside skin. It's more in front of the backbone, or like how far in is the central channel?
All right. So, that being at the central channel, the thought and the that gom jag yorwa, that sometimes this confusing yorwa, the bond or toguna, that chick so dule yona, zamgerwa, in that the chick gato tedo, kambanda wina, in the central clam, the cochimando yorwa. That is on our body, takers and the body, chimando you and oji. Tarjalola and o maimba. Dula maimba, that can't tangi contua na yirico, body straight, she got a love your tin ticket. Takochi, tell you one of Tinijik as a motango, yes, it is. Tigana Gikitanga to the Tandik Center Channel, Ma Susatella, they will walk so heads on. Tinijil Kasom de water, Tiniji or a labdoa.
So when we visualize the central channel, sometimes that might be a little bit confusing. We may then wonder if it's in our body, but does it touch the bones, or is it more in front or behind? So for example, it's just like in an empty house, you have a central column, like a pillar, So it's like right in the center. So it's just like that. It's not in front, it's not behind. And this is why we mentioned before, sit completely straight, and then the straight body goes straight through the center, and its lower part extends down to forefinger width below the navel where it is closed.
Is the movement of the tigla is like a gentle, soft, slow, kind of like almost like a feather going up gently, up and up and up, or is it a little more forceful?
Reta karsena ngaso di tanda di chili leka le yorwa tieni je gentle mo ndo in samare karsena ko hectic ya pargro ti show do japchi pump do ko hek la dia ko parwa nagi ya pargo go yosares.
Yes, so it's a kind of function, I don't know the way it moves. Yeah, it's not really so gentle, but it's really like you're ejecting it more forcefully with the heck.
And the tigle, it's beginning from the heart level, or is it at the bottom of the channel, like at the below the navel?
No, so this yeah tirawa the ta center channel tangi the center channel de la ninki ki la tene ngaso ta nyungman na ji sex ji ba ke ta center channel da ko below never yorwa ina ya ta tanda ngaso di tigle di ko ninki ki ta sex ji dewa ti gang de la yonggo do pema tene mandrosa mewa center channel no mandrosa mewa oda teenage ko nikeji la gom gore stambo ta tene ya so ne ngo hek dun ki ya wa pa mi ke tene themo wa to gro wa.
So it is so the bindu, the consciousness is at a ledge inside the central channel at the heart level. So you have the central channel, then inside the central channel at the heart chakra level is again a ledge without any joints like you have in a bamboo, and that is where the lotus flower is. On top of that is the bindu. So yes, the central channel does go below the navel, but the bindu is in the central channel at the heart level. And so it's there. That's where you start out from. And then of course you're moving it up with the 7 hex until it touches the toe of the Buddha Amitabha.
And we were talking yesterday about the white essence at the forehead, you were saying. And so is the bindu, the red bindu is always dwelling at the heart, or is sometimes below the navel and then they unite in the heart, or this is just at time of death, or that a little?
Right, yeah, that's a good question. So there was that chitang tanda science no in that ko lebic functioning the which yore that chinati ko physically yorwa yina ya tanga to tanda di ta ko number heba de ka huba na yiri number heba di koran rombore tene ko ta ronga na ga deva na yinga so khamba na de yorwa ti de du ta nga so according to the that Buddhism scenario, according to the Dharma la ta manchi is the ning se ya ta ke chen bu yin ba ro ji da ning ka la ji da ning ta ngo ne chi na ji ning center channel la ji ma ta ga ran da yo ma ba yin ya ta ko ning yo sa ta la ne nga so sem ne yo ro ji sem de gi res tieni da ka cha khong thyu na yi ri ke sing nga so ji she song bi ka bi yin na ya ta dong ko na ya ne sem ke number he ba de tene number he ba de ning ke ji ne de res ta tieni tene ka cha nga so ti le te na pai ti le ma yo wa da na wa ka lam da tene ma yi ke ta ka sa ga ti le ti yar de wa ni ya yo ma lam te ti ni bo har ka la number he ba thom ba la na lam la so bo yo ya te ta tin din do ka tu yin da ji nga so ning ka te la ne de wa ro ji ta 추 간디 이나 지 마치지 가서 닝가들 내대야라고 지 공부여서레스.
So there is, of course, a scientific and physical place for the consciousness. We see it talking about science speaks about the brain, function of the brain, and so on. And so, as mentioned yesterday, now the consciousness is a guest, like a guest that stays in a guest house. And according to the Buddha Dharma, the heart center is most important. And so when we say heart center, also it's not exactly where our physical heart is actually, but it's the heart chakra where we focus our attention. And also we mentioned yesterday, when one dies, then the consciousness also comes to abide at the heart center. And that happens when the white drop from the father moves down, when we experience whiteness, and then the red drop of the mother moves up and we experience redness. And then when they mingle at the heart, then the consciousness experiences blackness. And so that is why the heart center is very significant. And in most of our Dharma practices, we always visualize at the heart center.
Can I ask a question referring to kind of like what she was saying? So Rinpoche just said that at death, when the red and white drops unite at the heart, that's when the consciousness goes. But before that, like right now, where can we say that the consciousness abides?
Heart center.
Okay.
Yes. 대가 나이 가서 틀레디다 데 자첨보래 제당 가서 틀레디다 누바틱로와 디땡 가서 델라 네기요레 송도와 델라 네디 제당 센터 채널케다 센터 채널 지만도지 지만의 소들라 우웅충충지 요레스 펩 뭐지 충충 델라 드는 디케다 가서 디 틀레디디 박페 워라 로지 네기요서와 티니당 가서 산지에게 되네 센상보 숨장이당 베지 상보 제치스요 티나다 조체효의 산지 근조프 라고도 산지 근조프서야다 대 개치 모임보다 디크초도 되네 델라양 가서 다 오단다 뉴판도 에너지인도 돼 던델 내리겠어라
And also the Bindung sphere is very important. It is like an energetic sphere. And it also dwells in the center of the central channel. In like there's like a small pathway which is all behind the skin. There's this spot right here between the eyebrows. Of the Buddha's 32 major and 80 minor marks, one of them is the hair coil at the point between the eyebrows, and so that's there because it is like an energy center where an energy sphere abides.
Okay. So we maybe just take a break here. So we come back 4 o'clock.